Okay. Hi, Jamie Champagne, and you're here with me live. Thank you for those lives. See, this is what's so awesome is that I love technology and I can do the same thing every month and something is always different. Something changes. And just like that, that's why I love process people. I'm literally following a checklist for every collaboration chat I do. And every time I do something different, like I'm going to put a note on there, double check the microphone settings because they change live. So thank you, everyone for being live. So I do these collaboration chats monthly. These are 110% for you that I want to answer questions that came up in like recent training classes. People have asked me questions online and give those answers to you. And maybe, sometimes I'll screen share and demonstrate and more. But what's really cool is if you're live, ask your questions live. Start putting them in the chat, even if it's not quite the topic we're going to talk about today. And I changed this one last minute, and I'll explain that. But if you have questions or comments or ideas, you can put them into chat live during the session. And I'll, again, try to answer live, as well as you can put them even afterwards. So if you like watching the recordings, you have work meetings, you can watch every single one of my episodes and still put comments on there, and I can respond and give you maybe hopefully ideas. And even better is the community. So, again, thank you for those that are chiming in and of course keeping me on track. So, because I have fun, and it's one way I can try to answer more questions that we can't get to all the time online, in our class or training sessions or at a conference even. So I'll do these monthly. The events are there. You can sign up for them and I'll give you a little reminder, as well as make sure and check out the newsletter. I try to put lots of how-to things in those newsletters once a month. If you go over to my website, champagnecollaborations.com, that'll be where you can find my other newsletter with even more freebies. Anyone like freebie stuff? Yeah. Okay. So chime into the chat with questions, but I changed the topic to certifications because a couple of people asked me for certifications recently, and I wanted to go over a couple of things. And so let me start with the big news, okay, because this came up here and I want to make sure so I can share this all with you. And I'm kind of excited because we've talked about this in business analysis training in the past, okay, is that it comes up with, like you say, when we talked about entry-level business analysis training, I want to share with you there's been an update that in July, so yes, hear this now. In July, IIBA is changing the ECBA certification. That's the entry-level certification, the entry certificate. Put it here in chat so you have it. Entry certificate in business analysis, the ECBA is changing July of 2025. That means if you want to do it, you want to get it done now until June, mid-June is the best time to go over the certification, because it's super easy because it's on task and techniques. And this is one of the things I wanted to share out with my BA community, my business analysis community, is I loved the original ECBA because it said you don't have to have experience, all right? The ECBA was all about just getting you started. And that was important on there for me because it was a way for you to get into the industry. It's simple vocab. Do you know the task and techniques? And I will pull up from my website. I have a total cheat sheet package. If you want the whole package, how to get the ECBA, let's see, if you want to pass that ECBA before it changes in July, I've got a whole success package for you right now. Okay, I'm going to put this in the chat for anyone watching, because the old way was super great because it said study the task and techniques. And so for those of you watching, okay, that whole success package, you're like, okay, Jamie, that's something I got to buy. I don't want to buy something. I got to pay for the exam. That's okay. I got you. My loyal listeners that you're watching live, you want that whole ECBA competency, that success package free? The key word is success. all caps, SUCCESS. If you put that coupon code in there, you can totally get it for free. That's what I say. I want to help you get certified. All you got to do is ask. So thank you for those listening. You get the inside tip. So use code SUCCESS, Sierra, Uniform, Charlie, Charlie, Echo, Sierra, Sierra. And that'll give you that all for free on how to pass the ECBA. And what I really liked again about the old way they had it, or the way that we still have it today, is that it's about the task and techniques an entry-level business analyst might do. So we're talking observation. We're talking process modeling. Nothing crazy, okay? Nothing crazy on that perspective. And so this is where it's going to change in July. It's going to be different. And what I mean by that is here, let me show you real quick. So I'm going to share my wonderful Google. Let's go over here. What's changing is they want us more focused on the change, need, solution, stakeholder, value, context. Now, some of you might be going, that sounds a little familiar. If you've read the Babok Guide, that should be absolutely familiar to you, because what the Babok Guide introduced us to was a core concept model. And let's share that one now so you can see what I'm talking about. The core concept model, this is in the BACCM. And that the idea here is, like, if you look up above, what are the changes we're doing? What needs, solutions, stakeholders, value, context? That interrelated piece, that's what the new test is going to test you more on. And so this is why, like, I'm a little concerned, got to see what comes out, because they're now expecting you after July to know about these concepts as an analyst on there. And so the challenge on that is it's not an entry level as much. So again, I'm doing some research and trying to help you. But what I do know is this is something that we talked a lot about in like the new business analysis standard and more, because it starts thinking about how do we apply it to each area. And what I mean on that is, let's go back in here to the Babok Guide so I can show you. Rather than just asking you now about some of the tasks and techniques. So let's see if we view the table of contents here. See, each of these are knowledge areas with task underneath. So you needed to know these tasks. And then we have our techniques. And so the most common techniques and entry level BA would need to know are on there. And that's my success package, has it all in there. So if you want to get this entry level cert before July, go for it. Let me know how I can help. Now, here's what they're doing with the exam change. What I'm seeing is here's a knowledge area, business analysis planning. See this part here, the core concept model as applied to business analysis planning and monitoring. They want you to know this box here. Here's where see that change. And this is where it's the first time you read this. And let me caveat, reading the Babok Guide was a great way when you can't fall asleep. Please read it cover to cover. It'll put you out by chapter 2. Okay. It's not the most enlightening, not the most applicable. And this is why I love doing business analysis training, because we talk about real world application. The exam is going to test you on this knowledge. And so that's an important thing that's coming out from IIBA, that the ECBA examination is changing. And so I want you to be aware of that. Those that are talking out there, that the ECBA is changing. And so that's why I wanted to get out today about certifications, that the entry level one, do it now, focused on entry level task and techniques. That's what you got to study. 50 multiple choice questions in an hour. So they're not hard. They expect you to have no experience. In July, the lowest level of business analysis certification from the IIBA, it appears to be, it's going to push you to have some knowledge of business analysis that's a little bit more almost applied. Not to be the level of the business analysis professional, but it's going to have a little bit of applied. So that's kind of my concern there. And like I said, I wanted to get this out there right away and just talk about it and ask your questions. I'm excited because I love certs. I know, certification junkie. I just love them because it makes you study the foundational knowledge. That Babok guide was written by business analysts, people practicing. So you have to go learn to study that information. So that's why it's really important. Now, I see a good question came in. They asked about business data or business analytics is about. I like this good question. What I'm doing here, I just wanted to pull up. Let's see if I had some IIBA certification. So I can go over a little bit from the IIBA perspective. And let me just get here some more content to help lay out some of the options are available. So get in here where some good old CBAP. And I think I have something on the, let's see what we got here. Right. Okay. So I did want to share a little bit so you can see this and give you some help here. All right. I've got most of the full ones, but let me just share this real quick. And keep those questions coming. I'll try to hit on them. And so, because we got a good one about data analytics. Let's go over here. IIBA certifications. Now, with IIBA certifications, the core ones, these are on business analysis. So here I'm all rivaled up about the entry certificate. That's that entry level one. I say, I really liked it as an entry level because it was a great way. My project managers, if you're watching this, you want to go and study the ECBA because it's a great way to quickly give you some analysis techniques to use in your project management day-to-day work. Now, the certification capability and the CBAP, those ones both require experience. That's the equivalent like to PMI. PMI has a PMP, a project management professional. That's the equivalent to the CBAP. Whereas the entry level ECBA, that's more like the CAPA. No, I always liked with IIBA, our entry level was very entry level. PMI's CAPM does require some training experience. So that's BA certifications. What I do like from IIBA is they also have these specialty certifications. Michelle, I'm going to try to come to your question next here, so you don't wait too long. With the specialty certifications, this is analysis work in different concentrated areas. Now, all of these exams, all these certs, not one part says you have to be a business analyst. Remember, definition of business analyst is anyone who does business analysis work or is title. So it's a skill set and the profession. So you don't have to be a business analyst to do any one of these. But do you do analysis work in agile environments? That's what an agile analysis certification is. And that often goes really well if you do the agile and you're involved in, like you say, product teams, the product ownership analysis certification. How many of you are a pseudo product manager? Even though you're an analyst or a program manager or you are the product manager. Product ownership. Who's the product owner? That's a great one, the analysis work that's going on. So again, see, you don't have to be the BA. Now, cybersecurity analysis, this is a great one for those of you who are working in tech spaces. Don't have to work in tech spaces, but if you work with technology, getting the cybersecurity analysis certification is a great way to build secured certification solutions in your work. That is a great one. Now, Michelle out there, she asked a question about business analytics. So business analytics, data analytics, business data analytics, sometimes I think these words are thrown around a lot. And Michelle, as she's chiming in here, of course, we naturally analyze, right? I'm already analyzing. Is it business data analytics the same as business analytics, data analytics? They're all words. First off, though, because we are talking about certifications, the business data analytics certification is a great one because it focuses on the content, like in the test, focuses in on using data for smart business decision making. So think about that. How are you using data? That certification has nothing to do with R or Python programming. You do not need to go into Google Analytics, okay? That is just how are you asking the right questions so that you can get the right data needed to make informed conclusions based on causation, not correlation. Just because only a few people showed up live, that doesn't correlate, or that doesn't cause me to be better or worse trainer. There's might be a correlation, but there's no causation. Like that is like the biggest takeaway of business data analytics. Using data in the right way, the right manner to drive smart decisions. That once you have the data, asking, so what? So what are we going to do with this knowledge? That's the business data analytics. So Michelle, back to your question, business analytics. It's first asking the right questions so that you get the right data. That with business analytics, it's then once you get the right data, what does the data show you? And so this is where I probably would work with a data analyst. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to work with someone smart with data and say, what is it showing us? And then from the business side, asking those questions, what do we want to do given this insight? Because as you've seen, tomorrow is not guaranteed. What happened yesterday is not necessarily going to happen tomorrow. So do you want to base your business on the past actions? Or do we might need to consider trends and perspectives that input what we want to decide for tomorrow? So I always use the example. If we're trying to target a younger market in our marketing, we do see the trends. There are often a lot younger users on mobile platforms. So do we build a mobile app is not the answer from that insight. We consider what mobile perspective opportunities we have in our products and services and our future business decisions. We want to address that mobile platform because that is a great way to reach a younger audience. So it goes into us. And so I love it that, Michelle, this is sounding familiar to you. And this is exactly what these sessions are for. Asking great questions so we can get some insight and get some answers. And so that's what we wanted to clarify on here. So I'm glad that's helpful. And again, watching the recording, put in the chat, the comments here, any questions you have about these certs. I love doing certifications. More importantly, I love to see you get certified, because the part on that is, again, you force yourself to interact with industry standards, okay? The industry standards of what it means to do business analysis or project management or data analytics on there. Lots of stuff, okay? So there's so much you can do there. And then with the certification now, you also see the levels of certifications. So how do you get the experience now to drive towards those professional level certifications? So that's why I want to chime in here. And anyone needs help, I put a link in the comments. You can go, I offer training. And so that if you need help, and I love it, what we do, we often do little exam, we call them exam prep courses, or fast track, sorry. Instead of studying all the knowledge together, I'm here to help you. If you don't know how to approach your application, if you want to know how to best study, I'm here for you, okay? All I am is a chat message away or more, and we can get started in delivering some great value. Yeah, that's a big one on the certs. All right, so keep the questions coming in. I am, even though I'm an overly excited business analyst professional, I also got some questions that came up recently on the project management side. Okay. And now I do always get the question real quick, because I'm talking business analysis certifications, and I do both IIBA, International Institute of Business Analysis, and the PMI So Project Management Institute. So I'm going to put both those in the chat just so you keep it going. So certification, let's see. So BA community. Let's see. All right. And as I'm getting these in here, I see there's another great question. So thank you, Michelle. I like to see, look, this is live time with Jamie. So Project Management Community. I'm just adding it. Look, value add, right? So Michelle asks here, so as someone who hopes to start her own business and possibly a nonprofit, would these certifications help? Sure sounds like it. The part here, Michelle, like I'm going to be a good business analyst. And yes, what's the right answer every time, people? How do you respond to questions as a business analyst? And you're right every single time, as long as you do it this way, you say, it depends. So now, business and possibly a nonprofit. First, Michelle, thank you for doing nonprofit work. That's so hard and so rewarding. So if you need any help, someone to reach out on that side, let me know. Now, if it's a business and a nonprofit, that's the same entity, definitely some more challenges than business that's just purely for profit. So even that piece right there, that let me pull up here just a great example that where I use the business analysis core concept model every time. And so that can really help you. So to where, like I say, Michelle, yes, can it help a business owner? I think the business analysis perspective is one of the best things that you can have as you approach your work. Now, the certification makes you engage with the content. So that can be really helpful to give you a way. So it's like, I'm going to learn about this. I'm going to get value for my time. So if I'm going to read this wonderful Babok guide, I might as well get a certification out of it so I have that checkbox. You are a certified business analysis professional working in the industries. That can be really, really helpful. So again, I'm always like value. Remember, I'm going to say that V word all the time. So, and aloha, Aaron's jumped in. We'll get more questions from him. All right. So in the core concept model, they introduced this in the business analysis body of knowledge, the Babok guide. And I'll make sure here as I go through the questions to add the link in the chat. What it does is, remember, it's just 6 key concepts. But I tell you to pull out a blank form here and ask, and I'm going to try to get this model for you so you can see this even better, is that you answer these 6 questions. So like for your work that you're doing for your business, for your business, I want you to ask, what need are you solving? You answer that question. What need are you solving on there? Oops, there we go. What solution provides this? Is your business, is that one way of solving this problem or need? I kind of like the need and solution first. Need is what we're doing, So if you're going to start a business, what is not being addressed right now? Okay, so business might be the one opportunity, but then who are the stakeholders? What value do you get by starting the business? Consider your context. Is now the right time to have a partnership that relies on components made in China? Might not be the best context to consider that type of business on there. So this is where, like you say, you're learning the knowledge because it's great for your business decision making. You're being a business analyst. Perfect for any business owner. I would totally agree. Now, the question about certifications for today, if you're studying all this wonderful knowledge, might as well get a certification out of it, right? If you're getting the concepts. And so like to help you here, I wanted to show this to just kind of help you as you go, is I just have a blank version of this, but I think about needs, changes, solution, context, stakeholders, and fill out the bottom here, just a blank one for your business idea. What need are you solving? What solution would solve that? Stakeholders, like again, solution could be, are you going to partner? Or are you going to do everything else? Are you going to outsource? How is that business model going to look like? So who are your stakeholders? What about the value that you're going to provide? That nonprofit value, is there value to not just only the community you're serving or that audience, But now, are you going to change your solution and have volunteers? Oh, if we change our solution to include volunteers, not paid staff, do we create more value, not just for the community, but for the volunteers now? They get experience. See, like each time I fill in a section, I'm going like almost back and forth to reassess. And this kind of analysis perspective is why I love being in on these certs. Love seeing these key points because this is what people are putting out there. And so it's, again, very basic, very simple, but I'm hoping that helps, Michelle. Like, say, as you're thinking about this and got some, I like the light bulbs going off. Oh, so great pieces on there. All right. Keep the questions coming. These are phenomenal. Thank you so much. I'm loving this on here. Just way too much. I know I have too much fun talking about certifications on there. Okay. Now, let's see. So I owe you the Babok guide link from IIBA. Let's get that one here so you can see that for those of us who are familiar. And what you do want to do is check out the standard in there. Okay, there is the standard at the IIBA. You can get the standard, read that portion, the Global Standards of Business Analysis Profession. That's free in there. So you can go ahead and grab that for it. All right. So thanks for the comments going. I'll keep it coming. And then, okay, now comes up because I'm a big fan. I have all the PMI certifications from the standard project management perspective. So the PMI CAPM, the PMI PMP, Agile, do the hybrid. There's some great ones on there, but let me bring up, because I do get a question from the audience, the PMI's PBA, their project-based business analysis certification, the professional in business analysis. I'm gonna put this in here because someone always asks me about this. This is the PMI's BA certification. So yes, a project management association talked about business analysis. That's what we do in business projects. We do business analysis work, right? So with the PBA, people always ask me, should I do the PMI one or should I do the BA one? Okay, now I got to pause for that dramatic effect. Put in the chat as we go, every decision we're making or these questions we're answering, what is the right answer? Okay. What is the right business analyst answer for the question, which certification should I do? Should I take the PMI certification versus the IIBA's one? Is one better than the other? What is the answer? Oh my goodness. I like the comments coming in. But what is the right answer when you're thinking about which certification to do? Let's see if I can get someone live to answer it in the chat just so we have this. What is the way you answer to always be correct as a business analyst? I see Aaron's on there. He might know the answer more. But really think about this. I really want you to try use this technique with daily. And Michelle, I see some winners coming in. All right. I love it. Okay, they're coming in now. It depends. So I'm going to say this to help everyone. If you like business analysis work, regardless whether you're in a BA team, a technology spot, project manager, more, if you like the analysis work and really get into that, look at IIBA certifications first. If you are a project manager, having to manage your own projects, and you're like, what's this business analyst person? I never had one on my team. I just get stakeholders. That PMP is a great person to get the PBA from Project Management Institute. Because, and I say this why, this is how I think about it. If you're doing lots of project-based work, the BA certification from PMI is very focused on the analysis work within a project. There's a little bit at the start and end, but it got a lot more muddled because it was trying to fit it all the analysis work and activities you do on a project. So if you're involved in a lot of project-based work where you're eliciting requirements, tracking them all the way through to completion, so traceability, and you're managing changes. It it felt a lot more traditionally based approaches, plan-based approaches than it did. There's some agile questions, but the idea, just to Erin's point, it's all about the analysis work around particularly requirements on a project. So that's why I often tell PMPs, if you already have that, go get the PBA certification. It's more advanced because you've done project management experience. And if you've always managed your own, you didn't have a BA on your team, that's a great one to do. Whereas now the IIBA's ones, those are agnostic of projects. Those are for people who are in operations. You're in help desk staff who answers calls and troubleshoots daily. Go do the IIBA certifications. You'll love the analytic perspective. If you're a software developer and you get frustrated with how you get requirements in, go check out the IIBA content. Great ways to help you elicit, define, verify, validate those requirements work. But regardless, whether it's a small project, it's fixing an issue, or it's brainstorming the next evolution, what strategic direction you're going. So that's where, again, I'm agreeing absolutely with Erin that what you're doing with the PMI, PBA versus the IIBA's, all of their certs, is PMI, Project Management Institute, puts it within a project space. So I hope that helps those people asking questions. And I'll make sure, like you say, this recorded, we can share this out. And don't worry, I'll cut off that first part that we weren't having the audio on. Shh, tell you what, hey, this is being recorded. All right. Hoping that helps on the certifications and some questions there. That wanted to keep these collaboration chats very short and sweet. And if you have more questions and comments, throw it into on the event. There's a comments tab. This is where they're going. I can answer more. I can post more. Those of you who are on here who want that ECBA success package, go grab it. Again, keyword success. I'm not typing it so people actually watch, but if you watch and you're here with me live, success is your keyword to get that free ECBA success package and get your certification done. You know, please promote that to anyone you know who's interested. If you already have your cert, I know some people do have certifications already. Please use that resource, and of course, use me. I'm a quick click, connect away. All right, but let's see. I want to point out, because you know we're coming to the end of our time. Can you believe that I have way too much fun talking to you all? Like, it just goes by too fast. So what I'll highlight, I'm going to be online again in June. You can use this QR code. This is where if you click on it and you say you're going to attend, it'll give you a reminder button. So like, yeah, so all my events, they're always on my page, but if you go here, this will be for the next one. So you're ready to go. That I'd love if you could join me, or send colleagues, send people who want to ask questions. I'll try to post the topic a little bit earlier, but I was all just like reading into that ECBA certification change. And I was like, oh my goodness, what's going on? You know, we're business analysts. We deal in the world of change. So I was trying to see the value there. So right now, I see a lot of value of doing the ECBA if you're truly entry level with the business analysis profession, not the career. You can have a long career and just want to transition to more analytical work. Go get the ECBA. It's a great way. Doesn't mean you're going to be a business analyst. It's the analytical skills that help you deliver value. And that's exactly what we do here. Here with Champagne Collaborations, I'm all about value. So you coming here live with me, thank you, thank you, thank you. Watching the recording, even better. And if I can answer your questions live, we're going to be live June. We're going to be coming off of Project Management BA World Toronto. We're going to have just finished the BBC, the annual Building Business Capability Conference. And we're even going to be coming from PMBA Washington. So I will have lots of tips, tricks, thoughts, ideas, and more. Hope to see you live. Join me next time. Going to be recorded. And thank you so much. I can't wait to see more of you. And please connect with me anytime. Aloha.